Hello, everyone. My name is Jerome. This is my video on love and passion. I think we all deep down know what love is and understand that it can take many forms, such as love of a pet and for family, or for love of a sport and even food. Some people express it openly and with everyone, and others keep it restrained to only the closest of partners. Here's an example Venn diagram visualizing all the many forms love can take. Now, I'm not going to spend my 10 minutes explaining the different kinds of love, like how they can blend and diverge. If you want to talk more generally about that, or just want the attention of an attractive man, sign up for my OnlyFans. The link is in the description. So, tonight, I'm just focusing on this part of the Venn diagram, passion, and I want to do a bit of a deep dive into it. I'll be going over what is passion, then some misconceptions about passion and what it provides to a relationship, and finally, what you should do with this information. A bit of unsolicited interpersonal relationship advice, if you don't mind. It's not easy to discuss this with any kind of objectivity, so a lot of this will be subjective. But I did do my best to ensure logical consistency. So, first, allow me to explain what passion is. Well, for the purposes of this presentation, anyway. Passion is sort of the raging boner of love types. It grows suddenly, doesn't last long, and generally leads to bad decision making. Passion is an intense amount of enthusiasm or desire, and it can range from admiration to straight up crazed infatuation. And we all know the difference, I hope. Lust generally accompanies passion, but it's not required. Think about your country, your favorite sports ball team, or religion. None of those have lust, or they're not, typically they don't. Um, the other love types are generally long lasting and self sustaining. Passion, however, is neither. Passion at first offers ecstasy and euphoria, then it fades. Think of passion like a cup of coffee. It's great to have, it feels good, but it's not the totality of love and can't replace a good night's sleep. The other, I bet you're now thinking that I'm suggesting passion and love are somehow at odds with one another. And that's not the case at all. They can go hand in hand. Instead, I'm hoping to give you an opportunity to better reflect on the passion focused relationships you have with others to ensure you are engaging them in a way that's healthy for whatever span of time you have with the other people, whether that be one night or forever. Personally, I used to have two buckets for friendships with others. In one bucket, I would have people I wanted to fuck, mostly women, and in the other, people I didn't want to fuck. But those in the second, I usually shared a common interest with. Those are more general friends. As my taste evolved and I matured, the two bucket ideology began to seriously harm my ability to connect with others. This is most easily explained with my male friends. I knew some guys whose importance to me couldn't quite be contained by a single bucket. So much so that I began to believe I was gay. How could I have these kinds of feelings for this person? I met others who, within such a brief period of time, I'm talking minutes, would make me so starstruck with their talent, savviness, or charm. And because of my two bucket mentality, I was more or less railroaded into admiring them as if I was sexually attracted to them. The issue is quite obvious in hindsight, but having a bucket just for passion did not seem obvious to me at the time. It didn't occur to me that you could admire someone that much and not want to fuck. So adding that extra bucket, allowing yourself to expand your ability to have platonic passion in your life, allows for a broader spectrum of friendship and, and keeps you from sticking your metaphorical or literal dick into something that you might regret. Now, that's not to say there's anything wrong with sticking said dick into things. It's just not always the best method for keeping people around. For some people, the only way they know how to express any kind of love, platonic or otherwise, is through physical affection. And that may seem a bit illogical, so think of it like conflict. Some unfortunate souls can only conceive of violence as a solution to conflict, despite there being obvious, more wholesome ways to do that. So, given that example, it's pretty easy to conceive of someone using sexual attention as a way of expressing admiration, intentionally or otherwise. So, evaluate your expression of passion. If you evaluate your expression of passion and always look for new ways to engage in it with others, that will ensure the option of long-lasting relationships. You'll have that with anyone. Before I go any further, I want to hit a nail on the head. I know all of you have heard or even used the expression love and hate are just two sides of the same coin. I need you all to stop that straight away. While both certainly give off or fire off neurons that make the feeling a bit addictive, the practical idea of the two could not be further apart. So I never, ever, ever want to hear anyone say that ever again. So now I'd like to talk about the trend I'd call an over-reliance on interpersonal relationships, an over-reliance of passion in interpersonal relationships. Passion creates a strong sense of urgency and enthusiasm. And then examining that, we can begin to see a pattern that is helpful in spotting how passion causes us to act as if it's all that matters. Earlier, I used an example. Use an example and compared it to coffee. And I'd like to revisit it. We're all familiar with the stereotype of the habitual coffee drinker. Don't talk to me till I've had my cup of coffee. And coffee is hugely effective at giving the user exactly what they need. A prop in an Instagram photo. Unfortunately, just like coffee, people who rely solely on passion in a relationship are generally derelict in the other things that the other person might need for a loving relationship. Let me bring up that Venn diagram again. Passion is just one part, and there are many, many other parts that keep a relationship functioning that often do not get enough credit. The stereotypical coffee drinker may skip breakfast or exercise in lieu of a morning sip. In the same way, someone in a relationship may ignore the need for commitment, friendship, sharing secrets, etc. This neglect is unhealthy in the long run. Passion is not bad, but it's only one part of a delicate machine, and passion usually doesn't last long. Passion can be ignited very easily, and I imagine the perfect couple reignites that spark every day. But passion does not reignite itself. You need more than what you had in the beginning to grow into something more than what you were in the beginning. Again, there's nothing wrong with a pure passionate fling, but identifying the difference between that and something more will save you a lot of hassle in the future and will give you the opportunity to better communicate your needs and to better hear their needs. If you find yourself passionately enthusiastic for someone and that someone is just as enthusiastic for you, It's important to understand what your relationship is for them, because for some, it's all about passion. And if it fades, they move on. It's their choice. They might be happy with that. You can't control that. Last weekend, Roshni recommended 500 Days of Summer to aid in my creation of this presentation. And it was so helpful. Summer is the person I just described. She lived for the moment and wasn't interested in anything long term. Perhaps she even correctly identified the other parts lacking in Tom, the other guy, or whatever his name was. Maybe she didn't. It doesn't matter. She only wanted some of the Venn diagram, not all of it. The main character just didn't get that. So don't make his mistake. Listen to your partner. Pay attention to what you have in a relationship, because sometimes it might just be passion and you're missing everything else. So yeah, that's the end. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.